A couple weeks ago, I had an opportunity to sit down with some growers from out of state and talk to them about high yielding corn production. They were touring around different areas trying to learn some of the tips and the traits and the things that different people do to reach those higher yields on their corn. I said that I would certainly be willing to share some of those things with them, but to start off the day, I wanted them to answer one simple question for me. What did they think was the biggest challenge that they had to reaching their best profits? In unison, they all together answered water. Too much or too little. Immediately, I knew I was amongst my kind of people because we were talking water. But I said, I don't disagree with you, but I want to challenge you to find a bit more simplistic answer. I said, I think the answer to that question is as simple as not reaching our yield and profit potential on our acres. I'm Keith Byerly, Precision Ag Manager at Central Valley Ag, and this is your agronomy focus that corresponds with my article on the CVA blog site. When I talk about reaching profit potential, also means reaching our yield potential. But I want to caution you, I don't mean maximum yield. Very seldom is the maximum yield that we can raise our best level of profit out there. We need to think about things from an economic standpoint, reaching that maximum yield that gives us a profit still. We don't want our cost of production to exceed our cost of sales. So, when we talk about reaching profitability, we need to think about the potential of our acres. When I think about the potential of our acres, there's three things that really hamper our ability to reach maximum profitability. It's water, it's our fertility program, and it's our stand and population management. For the sake of those of you that are regular readers and viewers of this, I'm going to put the water aspect to the side this week and I want to focus on the others. So let's start with fertility. When I think about fertility management, I really want to focus on what being off just a little bit can cost me, because when we talk about those top yields, that's where the difference is in those details. When we look at pH, for example, being out of our optimum range by as much as a half a point can take 15% away from our maximum yield. When we look at phosphorus, being just 5 parts per million below the optimum can take away 3%. But when you look at that 3% and what it costs to build to optimum with our fertilizer versus our yield loss that goes with that 3%, it doesn't take but a couple of years to put us in the black with the investment in soil fertility on our farm. And that's the challenge that we constantly have to be thinking about when we talk about optimizing our profitability. It's making sure that those small little yield robbers are managed effectively so that we don't miss out on maximum profits. The other side of the table goes back to that population management. If you're still today not using a yield-based variable rate prescription on your farm for seeding rates, I think you're really missing the boat. When we bring that yield-based analysis into the equation, we develop the variable rate yield goal. That variable rate yield goal is exactly what we started off talking about at the beginning of this conversation, the maximum economic profit for our farm. If we can identify ways with population and seed to get the best yields off of each of our acres, that's what we need to do. Because my take home for today is simply this. We need to make sure that we don't pour money in the bad acres and we put our investments in the good acres to optimize that profitability. Because when it comes to profitability, managing our inputs and managing the little details will always pay off in making sure that we reach that profit that ensures our success.